evening, Emma was walking home. She saw something on the sidewalk. It was an old phone. It looked dusty and broken. She picked it up and the screen turned on. A message appeared: "Do not answer if it rings at midnight." Emma laughed. Is this a joke? She put the phone in her pocket and went home. That night, Emma was in bed, using her own phone. Suddenly, the old phone started ringing. She looked at the time. 12 a.m. Her heart started beating fast. Just a coincidence. Right, the phone kept ringing. There was no number. Emma wanted to ignore it, but she was curious. She answered. For a second, there was silence. Then a whisper. Why did you pick up? Emma sat up. Who is this? No answer. She only heard breathing. Then the voice spoke again. Look outside your window. Emma's hands felt cold. Slowly, she turned her head. The street was empty, but then her stomach dropped. The phone, the same phone she picked up earlier, was lying on the sidewalk again. Emma looked at the phone in her hand. A new message appeared. You shouldn't have answered. Then the phone disappeared from her hand. Emma's real phone buzzed. A new message appeared from an unknown number. Run. Her room became dark. The lights turned off by themselves. The air became cold. She heard a strange sound in the walls. Her hands were shaking. She grabbed her jacket and ran out of her room. As she ran down the stairs, she heard footsteps behind her. Heavy footsteps. She reached the door and ran outside. The street was too quiet. No cars. No people. Only her breathing and footsteps. Her phone buzzed again. Left turn. Now, Emma turned left into a small street. The walls were tall, and the street was dark. She could hear the footsteps behind her, getting closer. Up ahead, she saw a shop with a bright sign. Open 24 hours. She ran inside. The shopkeeper looked at her. Are you okay? He asked. Emma was breathing fast. Someone is chasing me. Hide behind the counter, he said. Emma hid. The shopkeeper went to the front. The door opened. Can I help you? The shopkeeper asked. Silence. Then the door closed again. The shopkeeper turned to Emma. I think he's gone, he said. Emma stood up, her legs shaking. Thank you, she said. Her phone buzzed. It's not over. The shopkeeper's face became serious. You need to leave. Now. Emma ran outside as the night was cold. Her heart was beating fast. This was not over. Something was still coming for her. Emma ran through the empty streets. Her hands were cold, and her heart was beating fast. She stopped for a moment to catch her breath. Who was chasing me? What do they want? Her phone buzzed again. Another message. Don't stop. Keep running. Emma's eyes widened. Someone was watching her. She looked around. The street was empty. No cars, no people. Just the sound of the wind. Then footsteps. Slow, heavy, coming from behind. Emma didn't turn around. She just ran. She reached a small park with trees and benches. There was a public phone booth near the entrance. She ran inside and closed the door. Maybe I can call someone for help. She picked up the phone. Before she could dial, the phone started ringing. Ring, ring. Her Her fingers felt frozen. No, not again. She slowly lifted the receiver and put it to her ear. Silence, then a voice, the same whisper as before. You can't run forever. Emma's breath caught in her throat. She turned to look through the glass of the phone booth, and there it was, a tall, dark figure standing in the park, watching her. Its face was hidden in the shadows, but Emma could feel its eyes on her. She grabbed the phone and shouted, "What do you want from me?" The voice on the phone laughed. You answered the call. Now you belong to us. Emma's hands started shaking. No, this isn't real. The street lights flickered. The air became heavy. The figure moved closer. Emma tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. She pounded on the glass. Help! Somebody help me! But the streets were empty. The phone buzzed again. One last message appeared. Time's up. The lights flickered one last time, and then everything went dark.